Now let's talk about the people who began this round of violence. The Hamas leadership. They planned the attack. They must have known the risks. But they gave the go-ahead anyway. Do you wonder why? Because these so-called leaders had little to lose. They knew they will not be paying the price. They knew their own families would not be in the line of fire. I'm sure you already know this. The senior Hamas leadership is living the good life. They do not live in Gaza. They're safe with their families in other parts of the world. They don't have to face the Israeli airstrikes on Gaza. Instead, they hold high-level meetings and give speeches. They dictate the life and death of civilians in Gaza from their five-star safe havens. The definition of armchair generals. And one man exemplifies this, Ismail Haniyeh, the Qatar-based chairman of the Hamas Political Bureau. Here he is in a literal armchair, seated next to Iran's foreign minister. They had a meeting in Qatar's capital, Doha, on Saturday. It was all smiles and congratulations. Iran's foreign minister reportedly praised the October 7th attack. He apparently called it a quote-unquote historic victory. And Ismail Haniyeh said this.
This strategic strike, the resistance strike, which recorded a glorious page in the history of our Palestinian people.
What victory? What glory are they talking about? Thousands of people have died, thousands more stand to lose their lives. And these are innocent civilians who are just going about their lives, both in Israel and in Palestine. Now a war is going on. Israel is asking Gazans to leave. The Israeli army will commence its ground operation any time now. It is telling people to evacuate North Gaza, and the residents of North Gaza want to flee. They want to move south, perhaps even cross into Egypt. But Egypt doesn't want them, and Hamas leaders say they should not go.
There will be no migrating from Gaza and no migrating from the West Bank. No migrating from Gaza to Egypt. And here I would also like to salute the stance of our siblings in Egypt, who maintain that Egypt is indeed a country and is a sibling and a refuge and is welcoming to the Palestinian people, but not on the grounds of migration or displacement. And neither of us can ever accept that. And I say to my siblings in Egypt, our decision is to stay in our country. So your decision is our decision.
You heard him. There will be no migrating from Gaza. Our decision is to stay in our country. That's what the Hamas leader says. The problem is, he himself is not in Gaza. Ismail Haniyeh divides his time between Qatar and Turkey. These are his two bases, and he keeps moving between the two. Same for his family. They do not stay in Gaza either. Most of them left in 2019. Some of them have Turkish passports. In fact, many senior leaders of Hamas have Turkish passports so they can move freely. But they're asking ordinary Gazans to stay put. Let me give you an important statistic. Before the war broke out, unemployment rate in Gaza was more than 60%, but Hamas leaders are millionaires. Their children are real estate tycoons with businesses in multiple countries. And this has led to resentment in the past. So what is Hamas's excuse? They say Ismail Haniyeh is on a foreign tour to rally support. That he's not abandoned Gaza, he's just traveling for the Palestinian cause. It's funny how long these tours last. Long enough to escape any danger and consequences. Also long enough to get foreign passports. Ismail Haniyeh's family has regularly been accused of corruption. They've reportedly made millions of dollars. They travel around the world. And now the same man is telling the people of Gaza to stay and face the bullets. The hypocrisy is staggering, though it's not limited to this man. Other senior Hamas leaders are also thriving in foreign nations, like Deputy Chairman Saleh al-Aruri. He's more often seen in Turkey than in Gaza, and he's always quick to give a soundbite to the press. Always talking big about duty and sacrifice, from their gilded armchairs in fancy hotels and conference halls. In fact, this hypocrisy spans most militant organizations. The Taliban leadership does not allow women to study, but their own daughters are studying in schools and universities abroad. Kashmiri separatists shut down schools in the valley, but their children went abroad to get an education. Everywhere you look, the game is rigged. Different rules for ordinary people, special privileges for the leaders and their families.
Today we stand with all pride and dignity before this valiant resistance on the land of Gaza and extend into all of the land of Palestine.
He said he stands with pride and dignity, but he doesn't stand among the people of Gaza. His children live lavish lifestyles while ordinary Gazan children starve, and that is a fact. Haniyeh and the rest do not face hardships with them. Instead, they're happy to send Palestinians to their graves while they bask in the glory of their sacrifice.